Hi everyone. Um, okay, I assume you can hear me. Put a message in the thing just to say you can hear me. Okay. Um, I'm gonna try and break a record today. Um, let's get the beer thing out of the way. There you go. I'm gonna try and do this in half an hour. I mentioned this to the wife. She laughed. So probably not, but we'll go. Depends. Well, if you ask me questions, then it'll probably go on for longer. But if not, I'm gonna try and get through it. So let's get the less important stuff out of the way. I'm assuming we're running okay. Can someone put a comment just to make sure we're all good? I'm assuming we're all alright. I've got people watching, but usually everyone says hello, and there's no comments at the moment. Say something. Right, well, okay, let's just pretend I can see there's people watching, so, right, so that's cool. Oh, good. Okay, yeah, brilliant, right. So, monitor, I think you had plenty of an update last time. Looking into panels and all kinds of things at the moment. Some of you probably aware I did. I went to Greenford Computer Club and took them along. Had a great time, fantastic time, and I also took. Well, I took it along because I wanted to plug in people to plug into computers. You may have already seen this, but the main thing I was trying to test was our SCART, because I know a composite would be fine, the VGA, I know all those things would be fine, but it's our SCART connection through Byron's board with the GBS 8200 and GBS firmware. So I want to make sure that was alright, and it was very successful, except for one. Well, my ST doesn't seem to want to work. It does all this. Another guy had an ST there, and his didn't work. And actually, right at the end of the day, someone else had an STE, and I don't know if it's got anything to do with it. Flawless, work perfect. So I can personally, my Atari ST will work in composite, no problem, obviously, and it will work with VGA. So I can use the high res mode. And we're trying to figure out what's going on with this, because Byron, who did the SCART adapter, he's got two Atari STs and they both work. So there's something weird going on. It's not a cable, because we swapped cables at the thing. We also plugged in my another where's that one got? Yeah, we plugged in another Dreamcast, and that was fine. We did it in some Japanese games and stuff like that. Also, that was in SCART. No, that was that VGA or VGA. Then we plugged in a Sega Saturn. That went in SCART. That worked great. Just tweak around, get it just how you want it set up. And also, probably the highlight of the night for me was the Sam Coupe. Now, I've never seen one. My God, that thing's amazing. It makes the Spectrum look stupid. All the Spectrum fans line up outside. I'll throw some rope and I'll come out, point to a tree. But I'm amazed. It's got things like palette changing on lines and stuff like that. It's like, wow, that's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that was pretty bloody impressive, to be fair. It's the first time I've seen one. So, and it plugged in. He was really pleased because it was the best he's ever seen his output look, because he apparently gets a lot of lines, and whilst ours still isn't perfect because it's not finished, not got right cables, it was way better than the one he had, so he was very pleased. So yeah, had a good time. I also took, some of you may or may not be aware, I didn't make it, I designed and sent Henson's. They gave me 6 prototypes because we wanted to experiment. We had a 1.2mm thick and a 1.5. I instantly, they felt they were strong. I could stand on the 1.2, right? So that old trick worked. But I didn't want the 1.2. The 1.5 is the one we've gone with, and it was pretty strong. But I had these prototypes, and under this, I swore them all to, you can't talk about them, right? Because they're going in a skip, but if you can find a use for them, they're yours. So a whole bunch of them went off, and they've got their two went off with the 1.5s, and 3 went off with 1.2s. And the 1.2s, as long as you're careful, they'll be absolutely fine. But anyway, I made some changes. One of the problems was I couldn't get a 1200 under it, which was right. So if you watch, there you go. So now you can slide it underneath. I also wanted to make it a bit deeper. Now the one thing is now I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me if I do this. So what I'm going to try and do, how I'm going to do this. Right, I'm going to put this here. Hopefully you're about to hear me, because I'm not shouting because of Alfie. Right. This. So basically, let me bring that over. There we go. Still hear me? Yep. Right, put that there. So, this, I call it a top hat. I don't know what we're going to call it, but basically, this was 80mm, and what was happening was, it made if you put a 1084 on it, because it's really front heavy, it would tip. Okay, so I don't want that. So what I've done is I've shortened that, okay, and I've also moved the back. And you'll notice if you look at the feet, let's get that one in the right place. So you can see it's on there now. Now, it's important to understand this comes at a small cost, but only if you're stupid. So if you push it forward, right, it will tip. Yeah, of course it will. Okay, but it always falls back, right, and it takes a bit of a push. But if you sit in the right position, you know, I mean, and it is very front heavy, that's fine. That's not going anywhere. Okay, so that's really nice. The other thing about this, and this is the idea. Sorry about the camera work. This is the idea, you see. So you've got this over the front, so you get that nice tidy look, but you also have access to your floppy disk drive. All right, that's what that curve does, and makes it really nice. Also, what I found is if you slide it right back, your floppy disk port is actually available. If you slide it right in, now that, I want to say that was by design. Unfortunately, it wasn't, but that works absolutely brilliant. So, now let's put this on here. Yeah, so that sits there really nicely now. I think that looks really nice. Of course, you've got access around the side, but it just tidies it up, okay? And that was the idea of. Hang on, let's bring them. Now I'm probably gonna put that there. Now, so basically, what that's doing is it's just tidying it up, and I think it's just right now. I can get my Atari. If there's any Atari people in the audience, let me know, and I'll put my Atari underneath it. There's already pictures. I've been sharing pictures around. But I suppose the really important thing is these are now live on my site. You're the only people who know about this, right? So if you do want to buy one, let me switch screens. Okay. So if you go to my site. Now this, you can see there's two here. Now at the moment I've only got the white. So if I scroll down, now what I've done is I've gone onto products. Okay, miscellaneous parts. All right, brings this up, and so you can see the two oyster whites. There will be more options. Okay, so there's going to be 2, 4, and 8. There's not going to be 5 and not going to be 3. The reason for the 4 and the 8 is because I can get 4 into one of my bigger boxes. And if I stand them vertically and put 2 boxes, I can get 8. It's just the way they go into the packaging. And the whole point of this is to reduce cost. So you'll notice, if you look at here, the white and the black one. So we've got a white and a black one here. £35 excluding VAT. It's very important to understand that if you're in the UK, it is excluding VAT. But you can see it's 42k UK price. £42, sorry. If you go up to the 2s, 78. So they drop £2.50 in price. Yeah, £2.50 in price if you buy 2. It's really worth buying 2 because it's the same shipping cost, no different, right? So if you ship into Europe or the UK, if you order a couple of these things, then it makes sense. If you're coming further and further afield, you've got to order a bunch of them, right? So get mates together if you want to buy them, because I don't make a lot of money out of these. I will only make money if they sell hundreds of thousands. I mean, if they sell thousands, then yeah, great. But I'm not really doing it for this reason. The reason is to get, to get my name out there, people can see it, be pleased with the product, and then maybe invest higher up. And also they serve a purpose, and that's the point. And also try to make the same price as the BBC, the British Compute Museum have got them for £40, so it's about that price. They're not cheap to make. They're powder coated, etc., etc. It's thick steel. Steel's really expensive. Packages are really expensive. Excuse. Also, they're going to come with. Oh, I've lost it. Okay, they're going to come with these round strips, and what you do is they'll be in the box, but you fit them to the feet. So instead of just sitting them on your desk, now of course that's not painted. We all know that, don't we? That's not painted, all right? But they're going to be oyster white or black, and the same finish as my cases, so the same quality finish. So they should well, they will look really good. And they'll come in they'll come in a plastic bag. They'll have these two strips which you clip onto the legs, and it'll go the way along, and it'll act as not only a foot and a rubber mounting so it doesn't move about, also look neater, and it will protect your desk from the metal. So you can just clip them. I'm not going to put them on because literally this is about time. Okay, I need to box up dozens of these things, stack them up, put labels on, and ship them, because there's very little money in this, as you can probably appreciate by this. So it's got to be, you can assemble that. I'm sure most people can put a bit of a strip on it. Can you get mixed packs coming? Yeah, so there will be. I will do a mixed pack, but I want to see what people want. So I've literally just done this before this stream. So there's nothing in it. I'm going to do a little video about it on them. I'm going to put a video on there. It's got all the dimensions. Everything's going to be written on each one, and then there'll be more options. So as I said, I'll probably do the twos in a. I don't think that many people are going to want black. So I really don't know. I'm going to be led by that. So I think the white's going to be the most popular. You can always order a white and a black. I mean, it's the same thing. Now I know it's a bit more expensive. If you do that and I haven't done it, if you want to place a pre-order, let me know and I'll pop a £5 discount. Not a problem. Okay, I can't automate that at the moment. So, but then as I said, there'll be 4 and 8, and I'm going to be led by what people want. But the most important thing is if you're outside of if you're in UK or Europe, you can order the same as many as you like. Well, in UK, it's £12.50. It's not cheap shipping, unfortunately. But they're big boxes and they're quite heavy. But it doesn't matter within reason how many you have. If you have 8, so you're shipping say 8 or 4, it's the same shipping charge. It's really important. So if you're going to go to Europe, it's the same shipping charge. Just get mates together and do that. And that thing is pinging. Let me have a quick look just in case it's something I need to know. The secret of this is literally going to be. I don't think she knows. Yeah. I'm just going to have to tell her live stream. That'll embarrass her. Right, so yeah, so if you're interested, they look. I'm sorry, they're really good. I mean, you see me stand on the 1.5. I didn't take a photo of me standing on the 1.2 because I didn't bother. I did stand on it, but I forgot all about it. The 1.5s are the way to go, because going to a 2mm was too much, and it would have been a lot heavier, more to ship, etc. And the 1.5 was really strong. So now with this new version, it's got an extra 50mm of leg. It had two 50mm sections of leg, and that was fine, okay. And you put a monitor on it, but there's a very slight movement. Yes, you're going to get that. This is a U shape, okay. Very important to understand. So there's going to be some sideways movement. Very little. These ones, no, they're almost none. But I don't know if you can see it. That. Let's see if I can show this. Right. That's as far as that's putting a lot of effort into it. So, it's very little movement. There's no way you can make it no movement because it's the way it is. It's a U, right? But it ain't going nowhere. And that, I stood on the ones before that. And this thing, they're really strong. So do not even worry. If you haven't seen the picture of me standing on it, why not? But they are pretty damn good. Right, let's see if we've got any questions, and we'll see if we can move this along. Have I heard about the Commodore 1690 Kickstarter? Yes. Funny enough, he contacted me because he's the guy who does the My 64s. And he was a bit worried about because he was I can't believe because he's more concerned about the cases, to be fair, but he was concerned how I felt about him using the Commodore brand. I said I don't care. I said you're an idiot if you don't use the Commodore brand. You've got to use it. But it's basically it's going to be it's a widescreen panel, standard widescreen panel, and Paul's designed a nice front, and it's going to have a cover on it, and it's going to look like a widescreen panel that's 1084 stretch, that kind of thing. You've probably seen the pictures. That's it. It is not a competition because it can't do anything like what mine does. I think it's got like HDMI, maybe VGA. So yeah, it's a very specific purpose. So it's could be the year of monitors. Can you access the PCMCA slot when the Amiga's pushed back? Well, it depends how far you push it back. If you push it right back, here look, can you see that? So if you push it right back, then no. But if you push it that far back, can you see that? It's almost under. You could have before, actually. You would have been able to access it before, but I had to put a bit more meat in there because I'd rather not have it tip in. So more meat at the back, more meat at the front. So you can, but you can't slide it right underneath. But if you should, So no. But the one thing that was quite nice is if you've got an Atari ST also, you probably may have seen these pictures. Let me just do the pictures. If you see this one here on the screen, this is the Atari ST, so you can see it's there. Is it that way? Yeah, right. So you can see there, you can get the ports in. Now I was thinking, can you get right-angled ports? Because then if you can get right-angled ones, you can then run them through the back. Should be a bit neater doing it that way. You probably still could, but yeah. So if you've got it there, then that's. I wanted it to cover the top of the computer. You can't cover everything, right? Because then you lose it. Okay. So it's a real balancing act, this one. I like the idea you can get to the floppy disk. And when you slide it back, you can get to floppy disk, but of course you can't get access to the MIDI ports. Leave it out if you want to use it, push it back, or hopefully get 90-degree MIDI ports. I'm pretty sure you probably can. And then that'll do the job. Can you get mixed packs, black and white? Probably, yeah, if you ask for them. All you got to do is ask. If you ask for a mixed pack, I'll create a mixed pack and go and buy them. It's not a problem. But you need to tell me how many you want, so I can do it too. You can all, as I said, you can go on now, order one of each, email me, and then I'll add a discount to make it the same as the two. Yeah, I'll do that. Happy to do that, because that's the easiest way of doing this. If because they're going to get people going, I want two, I want one black and three white or whatever. I can't do all these packs. So if you build them all up and then email me saying I've put a list in there, can you give me a multi-pack discount? I'll just give you some discount, right? And I'm going to put this on the information. You can just add, because the secret here is, if you're in the UK, I'll buy one £12.50. Yes, I know it's not cheap, but it gets to you, okay? Even if it was by Royal Mail, about £7, because these are big boxes and it weighs a bit. But buy more than one in one go. And if you're in Europe, definitely buy two. One's going to be great. If you're in Australia, don't be an idiot. At least buy 8. share it with your mates, because you're talking like 90 quid to ship to Australia. So if you ship 8 in the box, which will be double boxed, if you ship 8 of them, then when you get there, you can break them all up and give them to your mates. Don't worry about the camera, I'll just reset that. That's me half hour. Christ. Oh yeah, 2 white and 2 black. Alright. Well look, as I said, you just need to place an order, but don't pay. Place an order for what you want. Email me with the order number. I'll count them up, give you the discount, right? And then you can pay. Then you can pay. So it'll be the same as. More than I think the 4s and the 8s probably isn't giving any more discount because I've really cut this. I'm trying to make these economical because 20% of this is VAT. You know what I mean? It's an absolute killer. So a lot of this now. The other thing is if you're shipping to Europe, especially, there's quite often an import charge. So you get your 20%, but then the companies will do like a €9 charge, something like that. So it's nothing I can do about it. Right? It's just the way it is. But the annoying thing is that when they do that, it doesn't matter if it's £1,000, it's still £9. It's when it's not a lot, you know. So make sure you order quite a lot to take all that into account. Because shipping to Europe is actually not too bad. But order a few, get your mates together, and all decide if you want one. And then, you know, if you want to order one and ship it to Australia, fine, whatever. But I just recommend you don't. I might want a black one for the office. Sure, yeah. We have a nag meet at OLL Cafe in Norwich this Thursday. I'll show John the photos. He might be interested. Maybe the yeah, I mean, look, none of them are painted yet. I had a go. I got 2 more prototypes, the new ones, right? And I took one down the office and I primed it. Prime looked great. As soon as I put the one, it looks absolutely terrible. So I'm going to see if I can put another coat on it and see if I can make it look better. But I'm probably not going to take photos of that one. And it will be 10 weeks because I've ordered 250 at the moment with an option to increase. So you know, we'll see what happens with them. Fingers crossed. I've committed to making them, and they're going to take up quite a bit of space. But we will see because I think they're going to be popular. I did think about stacking them, but then I realised just how stupidly expensive they are if you did that. And just for the record, that is my racking system there, which is brilliant. Is £49, and it's a shoe rack, and it's absolutely brilliant. I'll stack all the computers up, and it just works brilliantly. So we'll chuff for that. So come on, questions, because I've not got a lot to say today. I really haven't. Apart from the fact that you can start ordering them. Again, the delivery. I've got the delivery date down for the 1st of August. So it is a while off, but it's not a Kickstarter, so it's literally pre-orders. If I know some people say, "Oh, I'll wait till they come in and I'll order." Good luck with that, because what I'll do is I'll order another batch when these pre-orders are sold. I'll order another batch depending on how many of these ones that, you know, how quick they sell, and then I'll order another batch. So and I always do these in order. Okay, it's very important to understand. I always do them in order. So if you want to wait until they're in stock, fine, and in order. And as I always say, basically I do 2 shipments a month. I may increase to 1 a week if I've got a lot of these to do, but I don't do them every day. I'm not a dealer. Not your dealer, because it's not worth it for my courier, you see. It's not worth them sending a van along to pick up 2 boxes. So they come every couple of weeks and we ship a load out. And we only increase that if we're shipping a lot, like filling the van up, and then I'll do, you know, increase the... So that's why, and I put it very clear, it's on my website, it's on the order page, every couple of weeks. We're not a dealer, but, you know, we get them out. I've just literally cleared out all the orders for this last couple of weeks, so they're all gone. 2 lucky people ordered this morning, and I managed to get them out the door, and I've emailed them, said don't tell anyone, because the dimensions on the opening, on the side opening, Okay, well, hang on, let's go back. Right, it is Scotland. It's a very simple product that does exactly what it needs to. Yeah, really simple. I did think of all bells and whistles and people asking for trays, and I did a poll. Right, I thought, well, let's find out. Do you want a standard one? Right, out of probably 100 votes or something. No, that was names. I did a poll up. Anyway, the standard one was about 3 times more than people who wanted shelves, because shelf would have added 50% more cost, more shipping, pointless. You know what I mean? Because on this, yeah. Oh, you can't see that. Hang on. I'll tell you what, let me switch screens. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, see that? See, 2 floppy disk drives. I mean, it's not difficult, is it? But it keeps the cost down. You see, that was really important, because all my stuff is, I hate to say, is not cheap. This stuff's not cheap. We don't make rubbish, and it's. Look, people have got my old 1500s 30 years ago. I've got one. It's not here. It's in the office. Apart from scratches and that kind of thing, looks like new. Yeah. So no, I don't make cheap rubbish. But these are pretty honest. They are pretty cheap for what they are. So if you want a shelf, buy 2 and stack them. No, I thought about that. It's not a good idea. I did, because we was going to make brackets to hold them together, but you're doubling your price just to get a shelf. It was just not worth it. If you really want to do that, look, if there's a demand, because as I said, I think it was 4 or 5 times more people wanted the standard one compared to those with the shelf. But that does mean there's people who want them with shelf. So potentially I could make one for £50. Yeah, because we can weld a shelf in. I can work out what heights, but then you get all kinds of problems, like you don't want the drive flying back, so you go, well, you put a bend up to put it in place, but they're all different sizes. Bloody nightmare. So no, and plus the fact I don't want to kill the market for my cases, because that's one of the reasons people like my cases. They can take their 500 apart, shove it in, floppy disks, sorted hard drives, all that kind of thing, and it looks great. The dimensions on the side openings are universal. I don't know what you mean by that. It's just, I can tell you dimensions, but right, the opening on both sides is the same, and the same position. It's 100mm by 50mm tall. It's just really because you can get your hand behind it to reset the Atari ST. If you've got really small hands, you might be able to get in and turn the Atari ST on and off. The BBC Micro, you can get inside on the left hand side and turn that on and off. And also for the Amigas and the Ataris, well, not so much the Atari, a stupid underneath connector. The Amigas, you can run the cables out the back and around the side. Do your cases fit under the stand? Why would you want to do that? Probably not, because my cases, I think, are the same height. So it's no, and I absolutely have. Yeah, no, it won't. And anyway, I don't see the point. It would just ruin the look of everything. It would look terrible. Honestly, it would look horrible. Oh, I shouldn't have put jeans on. I'm really hot. Come on, fire the questions in, because I want to do a quick stream tonight, because I've told you everything now. If you do want to, as I said, if you want to order tonight, there's no rush. Okay, there's no rush. You know, got a while, unless of course I run out. But there's no rush. I will in the next couple of days start ramping things up. There'll be a video about it, showing it all that kind of stuff. But I'm giving you guys a chance to obviously order now. if you want to. Doesn't matter if you don't, but if you want to, you can jump in there now. Make sure you get one or two. Hopefully, make it worth the shipping. Are you going Southwest at a swag? Yes, of course. I'll be showing off the new ones, but they're not painted. Okay, I haven't got time to get them painted. I may get a couple painted because I've got a batch of cases plus cases going through the system. So when that goes in, I might get him to knock me up for half a dozen, just so I've got. But it won't be in time for swag. Swag they'll be out. Well, and I've got the one I'm hand spraying. I might bring that for fun, but I've made a pig's ear of it. Absolute pig's ear. But I will be there. So it's all booked in. You can see it's really more about seeing the monitors, to be fair, because the stands are no biggie. You put computers under it. I mean, I got a lot of pictures. In fact, let me just show you some of the pictures in case those of you haven't seen it. Let me load. Let me close this one down. I've got what this is this that's the this is the new one, so I'll go away. Right, so let's have a look at these. So here's the Amiga sitting underneath. These are the new ones. Okay, so you can see it sits under there because originally the last version didn't fit. I did it. I measured it and I got it wrong. I was 1.5 millimeters out. So there's that, and then now this is I think the Atari. Yeah, it's Atari sitting underneath, so you can see what that looks like. But let me get into that, and what I'll do is now we go over to the old ones. Here we go. Here's some of the others. So if you haven't seen these, if they sell, did you decide upon a name? Did you decide upon a name? That was a poll. Checkmate Garage. I'd left it to you guys because I didn't care. I was going to call it Shelf or something. I don't know. I actually like Shelfie McShelfface. In fact, my favourite got 2 votes, which was Morecambe Bay. Genius. But unfortunately, most people don't understand what that means. So if you know what that means, and I'll class you as an Amigan, then stick it in there. Put it in the comments. The first one. See, go on. See if you can what Morecambe Bay refers to. But yes, that I like that one. But I only got 2 votes. Mine and the guy who put it up there. So that was no. What else is the question? More colours. So they're oyster white to match my my monitors, and they look really nice with the 1200s as well, and black, obviously. If there's a demand for colours, I'd need a round number, and then I can do a batch. But I need to get a reasonable number of them together to actually make it, because I can't just do 2. It's just not viable. But if I make like spray 50 or 25 even of a specific colour, so you need to we need to organise that somehow. But I'm not against doing different colours. I'm quite happy to do different colours. What was it? Oh yeah, let's go through these pictures. So so here's my new case, which you should be able to see up there. That's all right, which I'm really pleased. My crystal version. I've got a normal one ordered, but now this is the previous version. This is not the latest. All these pictures were the previous 1.5. So this is the one where I did all the checks and made some corrections, and then went for the final prototype, which is going to get made. So you'll notice the legs. If you look at the legs, you'll see they're 50mm each, front and back, and it was still strong, and it took my weight. But if you don't believe me, there you go. So as you can see, it can hold that monitor. Now 1084 is quite heavy, so you can see it can hold that monitor. These new ones even stronger, and very little flex. There is always going to be, if you really want to make it flex, you can make it flex, all right? But I will put money on it. You can put a 21-inch monitor on that, no problem. I'd even stand on it with a 21-inch monitor. I'll hold it like that, a CRT, and it'll hold it. I've no problem with that at all. Absolutely no problem. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that, and I'll do it at the show as well. Right? No problem. Give me any monitor, I'll hold it and stand on it. Right, and I'm 91 kilos, which I think I'm heavier than most monitors. So, you know, I build strong stuff. I hope it'll do well, because some of you may know, well, my plan here, one of the reasons for doing this is right, so you all know I'm doing the monitors. The monitors my big thing, right? The cases will always, the mini cases, they don't sell that well. There's a batch, but they don't sell that well. I don't know why, because they look really much, they really look like a 3000, but the Plus is the one that sells. And that sells reasonably well. I mean, I probably sell 25-30 cases a month, which is not a lot. Can't quit my day job on that. But what I'm hoping is that these, a stack of mine, sell them cheap is the plan. I'm hoping that these will bring enough money to top up the other, because I'm making enough money to think about it with the cases. I'm hoping this will be enough to cover all my bills so that I can go completely full time. Now, I don't have to explain, if I do this work on a couple of evenings a week, so if you can imagine what I can do with full time again, right? Seriously, I've got a lot of plans, yeah, so I need to go full time. But so these are my way of high turnover, sell lots, make a little bit of money. I'll be blunt, I make 50% on the value, okay? 50%. It's not an awful lot of money for packing them up and shipping them out. And so I hope I can sell lots. If I can sell a couple of hundred a month, or 100 a month, yeah, a couple of 100, 200 a month, kind of will make my decision for me. And I'll probably just quit the day job, but I think these will sell a lot more than that, to be honest. If the colours are right, I'll purchase several. They're white, oyster white and black at the moment. They're your colours. Down the road, there may be others, but you've not even said what those colours are. So I need to know what the other colours are, because there's plenty of time. I've got 10 weeks. In fact, I've got about 6 weeks. And if people place an order and say, can I have it in this colour if possible? I can't do one of these, one of those, one of those. If it's like a grey and a round number and people agree to the same colour, I can do another colour. It's no biggie. Absolutely no biggie. But, you know, I have 2 mini cases and a Plus, but I still want an XL version. I know you don't want to make it. I don't know what you mean by an XL. Do you mean the stack? What do you mean by an XL version, Jeremy? Because that's. Do you mean an XL version of the Checkmate Garage? I don't know. Right, come on. Any more questions? Okay, yeah, because as I said, but it was only 20% of people roughly that wanted the shelves. That's no way to. I can't base this on that. Now, is there going to be a second version? If this sells, if this sells as it is, right, in decent numbers, and I mean like a couple of hundred a month, right? Yeah, if people want me, I'll go to town on it, right? I'll make something really special, shelf, like I'll make it something really, really special, because just putting a shelf in there is a stupid idea. I'd already thought about almost making so you can put my plastic inserts in it, you know, on stands, so you can have my inserts, so you can put, you know, mount things in it, like almost like a cheap version of my case, which you slide it underneath. So that's where I will go. But you're talking 60 quid, 70 quid. You know, we'll see. Like a 2000. No, I only just got here. But what's the height clearance underneath the garage measurement? 100 mil. It's actually 100 mil minus 1.5 mil. Although to be fair, the feet probably lived at 1.5. So say 100 mil. To the point. In fact, if I get this, if I put that there, can you? Oh, hang on. Let's switch views. Right, let's do this. Right, so you can see that. see this? My Ultra Satan. Now, I actually made it 100. I made it 100 mil. I don't know if you can see my Ultra Satan on the back of this. I'm really actually, I shouldn't say this because I'm as an Amiga person, but I'm actually very impressed with this 520 ST. The build quality and everything is just a lovely, solid bit of kit. I'm actually really pleased with it. But I put an Ultra Satan on the back of it. Now, so you have to be careful when you slide it under, because if you slide it under, right, you'll catch it. But so what I do is I tip it. Right. Ideally, just slide it to one side, and there's your floppy disk. So yeah, 100 millimeters, nice as it goes in there nicely. Stop hugging the Atari. Hey, look. Have you noticed how many Amigas are in here? Seriously, right? And that's not all of them. So I've got one Atari. But I also have, but I will hug this one. That is awesome. Unfortunately, it doesn't go under. See, now I had a real dilemma. Should I make it to fit this? But then it would be really big. So I can't put this, unfortunately I can't. So that's where this potential new version comes in. So a shelf, I don't know, we'll see. But I can't put this underneath it, which is a bit of a shame. But you can stand it behind it. But my BBC Micro goes under it and it's all good. Apple II won't fit under either. Yeah, potentially. It's not going to please everybody, right? I can't please everybody because the problem is, if I make it so that it goes on, it would sit very high. And then, because if you look at that at the moment, right, it's quite hard to tell from there. But if I get this right close to it, it's quite nice and close to the machine. So it's neat. Right? It looks neat and tidy. But as I said, going down the road, if these are successful, I could make a taller one. There's no problem because that's nothing. I can make one that's 20 mil higher, enough so you can put an Apple underneath. Because I don't have an Apple to measure, so. But you can then put my Atari underneath it, and maybe you can put an Apple to it, and I can make one like that because it wouldn't cost much more. Probably would cost 10% more, if that, 5% more. I could do one, but I want to see how these get on first. And to be honest, I can't believe the market for the Atari 800s and the Apple in Europe, the UK, Australia, etc. is going to be that great. Now, maybe in the States, but of course then you've got shipping charges. Most of my packages, when I send to that kind of size, can cost 60 quid to ship. Who is going to buy a shelf to send to America? Now, if you buy 8, it's the same price. Ship to America, get all that. So maybe I'm hoping that dealers might jump onto it, and I can maybe do a little bit of discount because there's not a lot of discount I'm going to give away. But I don't mind because it'll save people ordering from the States, you know. But most people, I think, want to, so it's not quite so bad. But you don't want to pay the same amount of shipping as the cost of the two parts. I think I can print 3D print risers. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. This is designed to sit on the deck. It's solid. I thought about making metal risers and bolting them, but I don't want to do that. You do not do that. If you do not blame me because it's not designed for that. It will collapse. Right? No matter what you do, you're gonna have to drill holes. It'll be a mess. So just wait and see if I do a different version. Because of course, you know, if it turns into this is a really great market, it might be that this is the thing I should have done all my life. You know what I mean? Might sell thousands of the things, and then I'll make anything you like. I'll do it in bright pink if you want it. It's no biggie. But please don't 3D print riser legs. It just won't be strong unless you're some kind of, you know, wizard. I'd be really concerned about that, because as I said, I was going to do risers, metal risers, but we were concerned about the strength. And that's what I'm most concerned about. You're putting these big old CRTs on it. You really don't want to. Could someone remind me of the internal dimensions? Alright, look, the external dimensions, 500 millimeters by 330 millimeters by 100 millimeters, and off of all of them, take 3 mil off. There's your internals. It's easier to say it that way. I'll write it in here. 500 by 330 by 100 millimeters minus 3 mil. Thickness of metal. There you go. I've even put it in there. Right. Any questions? Because I am literally, I'm cooking in here. It's quite warm. No, I could do with having a break, because I've been out all day, all over the place. So, any more questions? I will give you a minute to answer. But I could do with, do you like my t-shirt? I like my motorbikes. Have you seen these? Oh, might be able to see it better with that. I got that, that's actually in the garage. And this is my other bike that is actually in my garage. Unfortunately, that bike is way too good for me. I missed, I think a lighting kit might be very, yeah. You'd have to stick it underneath. I mean, I did think about putting squirrels, all kinds of stuff, but it's all cost. It all pushes the cost up for no reason. Now, you can get LEDs. They got those sticky back. You could put them all on the phone. That's a great idea. I might do that myself. You could put that along and then just have it run out the back. Yeah, that's a great. I love that. 2 of them side by side on the desk. Yeah, cool. Well, that'll work. Well, obviously not right next to each other, but if you've got the room, yeah. Because the good thing is it literally saves space, because normally the monitor's a bit of a pain in the butt, isn't it? Whereas now you've got your computer and you've got the monitor right above it. And that actually is going to work out quite well. So he says, putting his salesman hat, please buy more. As I said, I'm not going to get rich on these unless I sell thousands, and then, ooh, nice. But even then, if I sold 1,000, I'll leave it to you. As I said, I'm making 50%. So if I sell 1,000, you know what I'm going to make, right? But the amount of time I'm packaging, and Christ knows what else work involved in. The design's done. It's just all the work around it, you know. So, come on, question. Any more questions? Any more questions before I go? Because then I've only done 50 minutes. Right, I'm going to base this on the fact that we're done. All right. So. Thanks all for joining in. I'll probably do one again next week. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to talk about, but I have a 43-inch TV that I use for my midst at my PC, and that would fit quite nicely with 2 of these. Yeah, you could stick it on one of them, to be honest. If you want to put it across them, I mean, I've got a big TV downstairs. Well, actually, mine's bolted onto the wall. But you could stick a big TV on this. It wouldn't be a problem. They'd be fine. Right, okay, so I'm going to go. Thanks for joining in, and I'll see you next time. And this is the bit where I kind of, you know, press the button and, oh, hang on, it's not that button. Anyway, see you later, guys. Might see you next week. Thanks a lot. Bye.